Hump Day is here, and later today, so will Crashy the Cold Front. Let's talk about who's going to be getting a freeze tonight in this Wednesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning to you. It is Wednesday, the 20th of November, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Bully-in-Chief David Reimer. No rain, no storms with a cold front arriving today, but it will definitely make its presence known with gusty north winds and much cooler temperatures to start off your Thursday morning. We're starting off this morning with a freeze in the Panhandle and West Texas, temperatures down into the 20s and 30s. And by tomorrow morning, many more of us in the state of Texas will be experiencing temperatures down in the 30s as well. In terms of the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, to Thursday, north winds today will begin to give way and veer back around to the south. On Thursday, you could see light and variable, mostly not a cloud in the sky for most of us today. And tonight, some increasing upper-level clouds Thursday afternoon across the western quarter of the state, the borderland into the Trans-Pecos and the Permian Basin, but otherwise, it's going to be severe clear with not a drop of rain expected. Wildfire danger over the next couple of days in the state. Today, high to very high fire danger indicated by the Texas A&M Forest Service across central Texas, the Hill Country, the Brazos Valley, into south central Texas, the Coastal Bend, South Texas, the Edwards Plateau, the Big Bend, into the Rio Grande Plains and the Rio Grande Valley. For Thursday and Friday, moderating fire danger is expected across the state of Texas. Let's take a look at the global forecast system. But first, we're going to take a look at something we haven't shown in a while. This is the upper-level jet stream at 500 millibars. An easy way to think about that is it's halfway to the top of the atmosphere. Typically, this is about 18,500 feet above sea level. You can see our upper-level trough over today, tomorrow, into Friday, causing that cold front to be pushed south today into tonight. As we go through the weekend, early next week, you could see a mainly zonal pattern setting up for our part of the world. That's just where the jet stream's moving almost due west to east without any major perturbations or pieces of upper-level energy expected. We're not going to have a lot of moisture in the state anyway, so that will keep rain chances nearly zero until around Wednesday of next week, when a upper-level disturbance, a little kink in the jet stream, we call it a shortwave, is anticipated to approach the state from the west. You can see as it occurs, those brighter colors transitioning from green, yellow to red indicates an intensifying jet stream and alas, an intensifying upper-level storm system. The way it looks now, we are anticipating some active weather next Wednesday and maybe even into Thursday across the state of Texas. The timing is still up in the air. It could be 24 hours sooner or later. We're talking about 7 to 8 days away, but given the time frame next week of Thanksgiving and the travel period, I figure we can go ahead and start talking about that now, even if things are quite likely to change. Here is the simulated weather radar from the Global Forecast System, the American Long Range Weather Model. You can see maybe a few sprinkles on Sunday along the upper Texas Gulf Coast, southeast Texas, as those upper-level storm systems early next week move overhead with no moisture in place for us. Guess what? That just means upper-level clouds and cloud cover with not a drop of rain expected, or at least not more than a few drops of rain. Measurable precipitation is unlikely until we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, when the upper-level storm system will move overhead, and we will probably see a cold front on the backside of that system as we get into Thursday or Thanksgiving next week. Timing's still liable to change, but both the European and American weather model ensembles, which is essentially this deterministic model I'm showing you here, run a couple dozen different times with slightly different initialization parameters, allowing for a variety of outcomes to be shown, and they're all showing this system impacting the eastern half of the United States next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, in all likelihood, we will have some impactful weather for the eastern half of the United States next Wednesday and Thursday, being the busy travel period. So, heads up. For us in Texas, increasing precipitation chances possibly Wednesday, Thursday of next week, with a cold front arriving on the back end. I realize this is showing snow in parts of the Panhandle in Oklahoma next Wednesday. We're still a week out. I'm not taking that to the bank at all, and neither should you. But precipitation chances, sure. And we'll keep a close eye on it. But unfortunately, that appears to be the soonest we may see a measurable precipitation event in the state of Texas, 7 to 8 days out. It's not great when we're talking about drought. Forecast rain totals over the next 7 days, 6 p.m. Tuesday next week. No, this is not just a blank map. I actually am showing you the region because this is the forecast rain totals. We're not expecting anything over 1/10 of an inch, not only in Texas, but Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and 2 parts of New Mexico. It's drier than a popcorn fart. Or the opposite of a Taco Bell fart, usually. It is Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm wearing my special super-duper shirt. Yes, sirree, Bob. It may not be Friday, but I don't care. It's time for Sarcastic Wednesday. Well, I said we were going to have a cool front push through. Let's talk about it. Here's today's high temperature forecast. We're looking at 50s and 60s in the northern half of the state. Those north winds making things feel a bit cooler than that. So, yeah, it's not bad for mid to late November. Highs still in the 60s, 70s, southern half of the state as the cold front continues to move south today. Again, no precipitation is expected. Tonight, low temperatures, 20s in the Panhandle. We're expecting 30s. For all intent and purposes, the northern 80% of Texas. An exception will be the urban cities, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, DFW. In the dense urban core, will probably be a few degrees warmer, so maybe low 40s. But otherwise, it is going to be a chilly night across the state with the sheltered regions or the valleys in parts of the hill country, the big country, the Concho Valley, into the Arklatex experiencing a frost or modest freeze. This is not a situation where we expect widespread freezing temperatures across the state, but it will certainly be the coldest it's been so far this winter, it looks like. And with that will come the potential for a freeze in sheltered locations and valleys, at least for an hour or two tonight into Thursday morning. Temperatures down to the 40s along the Texas Gulf Coast into deep South Texas, maybe 57 in South Padre Island, but again, you can see just inland there, we're looking at about 47 to 50 in McAllen, and then the rest of the state, we're looking at 20s, 30s to low 40s tonight. If it makes you feel better, though, we're going to warm pretty darn quickly tomorrow afternoon. How about a 30 to 40 degree temperature climb for Friday, or excuse me, no, I got this right for Thursday afternoon. My days are mixed up in my head. Clearly, I wish it was the weekend, but alas, we're looking at highs in the 70s across the southern half of Texas tomorrow afternoon, upper 50s and 60s northern half of the state. Another pretty nice day. And as we get into Friday morning, we start the moderation trend. We're still going to have temperatures down into the 30s, northern half of the state, but 40s to low 50s, southern half of Texas by Friday morning. So we get into Friday afternoon. The coolest locations will be the northeastern Texas Panhandle, into Texoma and the Arklatex. Some cooler air filtering in from the northeast and the higher terrain across portions of Arkansas and Missouri. Again, highs low mid-60s with upper 60s northeastern third of the state. We're back into the 70s and 80s southwestern two-thirds of Texas. Warming trend continues on Saturday, mostly 60s, Arklatex, East Texas, Piney Woods, Golden Triangle, Eastern Texas Panhandle. Everyone else is either in the 70s or 80s. And as we get into Sunday, we're going to be flirting with 90 again in the Edwards Plateau and around McAllen in deep South Texas. 80s, southern two-thirds of the state. 70s, northern third of Texas. So the cold snap, if you want to call it that, if versus a pre-flirtation with late fall, will be very short-lived. And again, we don't expect precipitation on a widespread scale in the state over the next 5 to 7 days. As well, 5, 6, 7 days, I guess. As we take a look at the Climate Prediction Center temperature outlook and the Thanksgiving week time frame, 25th through 29th of November, we're looking at above average temperatures. The southeastern half of the continental United States, cooler. Northwestern half of the United States, we'll have to see the progression of the upper level storm system and see if we're going to get a strong cold front in here or not. But with that, and the active system track expected next week, the probability of above-average precipitation chances across a majority of the continental United States, from California to New York City, is increasing. Maybe a bit dry down in the borderland, the Big Bend, the Permian Basin. We'll deal with it next week. Regardless, it doesn't look like it's going to rain in the state appreciably until 7 days from now, Wednesday, into Thursday of next week. That'll be it for your Texas Weather Roundup this Wednesday afternoon / morning / whatever time you want it to be when you watch this video. Clearly, it's time for Baldy here to go get some coffee, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You can get your local weather forecast, no matter where you are in the United States, with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. You can also get your daily Texas weather roundups. Track the weather across the United States. There's a pretty impressive atmospheric river moving on the west coast from California, Oregon, Washington, and to British Columbia, bringing feet of snow and a lot of rain as well, along with strong wind gusts. You can track that with our free mobile app. And guess what? You can also use our free interactive weather radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. I'm Texas Weather Center's Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Thanks for watching us this morning. If you're watching us on the Texas Weather Center YouTube, thank you kindly very much. Give us a big old thumbs up to help with the magical super-duper algorithm. And if you haven't joined the Texas Weather Center family, join us by clicking that subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. We'll talk to you later. Have a great day. God bless.